Hello everyone and welcome to The Sincere Lifestyle. Today I'm going to do a tutorial on how to do your hair, which is a protective style for quarantine. And this is going to involve braiding your hair and adding the hair in as you braid. So let's get started. So we are going to start by just sectioning our hair off into parts, and this is going to make it easier when we braid, so we already have the pieces sectioned off. And for today I'm using this hair to add into the style. I'm going to include a link to this below. It's just regular hair you can get from your beauty salon that's not expensive at all. And I like to use this head wrap that basically eliminates all the drips on your hair while you're styling your hair while wet. I like to style my hair while wet because it just helps all the detangles and etc. just not get in my way while I'm braiding. Okay, so I divided my hair into sections. These are all the sections I will be braiding. And if you want to know more information about the hair butter I have in my hair that has made it so easy to detangle, I'll include a link above. So now we're going to get started with the next part, which is basically starting to braid the hair in these sections that I made. In order to do that, I'm going to take some of the hair out the way and just do it row by row. So I'll include a link to these clips that are really strong in the description box as well. So today I'm using 22-inch long water wave, and so what I start by doing is cutting this in half right here at the tip. I put this half aside, and then just start managing with this. One of my favorite detangling methods is finger detangling. So I'm just going to finger detangle each section as I come along it before I start braiding. Then I also like to prepare the hair in advance for that section. So I'm just going to take a section of this hair, just this little bit right there, and then I'll just take one more just in case. And what I like to do is separate this bit and then place it in this format. And then put it together like that, where it's just overlapping a bit. And then this is, I like to get a few of these ready before I start braiding. We're going to get started on this first braid, and you divide it into 3 sections like this, just one after the other. Try to make it as equal as possible. It's kind of hard when you're working on your own hair. And it doesn't necessarily have to be tight. This is a protective style, so I like to do it just medium tight, not really grabbing all these hairs here because I like my hair to be free and just protected. And at this point, we're not going to add any of the hair yet. It's great to not have this hair on your scalp because that kind of causes it to itch sometimes with discomfort. And so I'm already just starting, so what I'm going to do is add a little bit of this hair that I prepared. I'm just going to add one of those pieces that I separated, like this, and just overlap it where there's about like 3 inches on one side and the rest are on the other side, and then just keep braiding. I'm going to keep doing that little bit, just like that. Add another one of these pieces I prepared, and keep braiding. Add another one of these pieces. Keep going. Add another piece, making sure you overlap it about 3 inches on one side and the rest is on the other side. And keep braiding. So the intention is to get the same amount of fullness of your hair in this hair that you're adding. So it can kind of look as seamless as possible in terms of just the thickness. There you go. And I'll add one more bit. So at this point, my natural hair has ended and now it is just the extension that I'm braiding. So here you can see you have little hairs like this that's popping out of the extension. That's okay, we can cut that at the very end. So we're just going to keep braiding this down. So the hair that I got today is 22 inches. You can get something shorter if you want to go for a different look. I like to braid it way past my hair. When I take it out, I can just cut this and it will unravel a bit, and then I can just unbraid it without worrying about cutting my own hair. So this is just a great way of doing that too. So at this point, I want to just leave a little bit out. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of the hair and create a knot. And then to super secure it, I'm just going to take another piece that is not the piece that I just took, just a different piece, and do another knot. And that is the first braid. And now we're going to repeat that all the way around. So what I'm doing now is just preparing a few more pieces, as I just mentioned before. For this piece, one of the ringlets that are in there, I'm just separating it to 3 different sections, just so I can add that in quite easily once I'm like already going. And so, just gonna get this one section, finger detangle, as we did the first time, we're going to just separate this into 3 to begin that braid. And remember, this is a protected style, so it doesn't have to be super tight, especially since you want to protect all of your strands. And now I'm just going to begin adding in the pieces as before. So I just added one of those little pieces there. And I am going to go in and add another one of these little pieces we pre-sectioned. I'm going to add another one. Add one more here. And you'll see in between of me adding them, I just hold them in place and then just bring it in. I'll do one more to be a little more specific what I'm doing. Holding the braid in place so it just catches 2 of the 3 strands. And these little pieces you don't really have to worry about now because you can cut those little ringlets off at the very end. And I'm going to add another piece. There we go. And here we are at the end. So I just sectioned off a little piece of this hair and I'm going to use it for the knot. And just wrap it around like that and just secure it. And I'm going to grab another random piece and create another knot, wrapping it around, pulling it through, and tightening it. Here's the last piece in that thumb row. Finger detangle. And start braiding. At this point, we can just add one of these little hairs that we prepared. Now we can add another piece. another piece. I'll add one more before we finish adding these. Let's add a little cut. Spicing it up. So at this point my hair has ended, and I'm just going to continue to use the other braids as my roadmap in terms of how long I want to keep braiding. It's always good to keep them in the front so you can have a little reference for yourself. And if they're slightly uneven in the bottom in terms of the length, that's okay. At the very end, you can always trim. So that's just about right. And I'm going to do the 2-knot method as we did with the rest. So now we're here on the other side. So we divide it into 3 sections as before. Just start braiding it as you would a normal braid. And right around now I'd like to add the hair. So we'll add the first strand. And what we do is place it so that one strand catches it and another strand catches it. So these 2 strands caught the hair. And so we're going to add another piece so the strand without the hair could catch one. Just like that. And I'm going to add another one. You can see my hair is very thick, so I kind of want to mimic that thickness so there's not a stark change once my hair ends. I'm going to add another one just for this area here. And I'll just do that so it's a little longer on the bottom. Right there. Let's see. Kind of want to make sure it matches up with the other side. And it looks like it's going to. Might just add one more right before my hair ends, right there. Add a little color there. Make it a little longer. Okay, and at this point my hair has ended and I am just braiding the hair we added on. Okay, I think that's about it. And do the 2-knot method we've been talking about. piece of random hair. Knot it around once more. Give it a nice tug. There we go. And at this point, sometimes in between, I just like to cut these little curls that pop out from the hair we added, making sure not to go near my actual hair that stopped a bit earlier over there. There we go. Divide it into those sections. 3 sections there. Try to make it even. Smooth. Smooth out as much as you can right there. Then you can start adding the hair. just going to check, see how long that is compared to the rest of the strands I have. Pretty much matches up. I just add another one so it's not super skinny. And you'll see right here, this one's super thin. So I'm gonna take some hair from this one that's super thick and just so it can be a little more even. And add it in that strand right there. Stop it right there. I'm just gonna do my double knot. Sometimes this happens at the very end. It's okay to snip this. That's totally fine. And one more knot. Last one. Alrighty. And so after that, I like to look at the length. And if one side is a little too long, it's good to just snip it overall. So one good way to do that is just to Put it all to the back. And just check the length in the mirror. So these two strands right here are super longer than the other. I just give those a little snip. Let's see. And about, let's see, here. Now I like to look in the front just to make sure everything looks okay. And we're done.
Hit the subscribe button and press like on the video. See you next time.